5 towns and parts of 9 others, so Bristol, Alexandria, Bridgewater, Rottenham, some of Orange, Dorchester, Plymouth. We have about 600 members, roughly 500 families, 70 businesses. We work with summer camps around the lake. Our mission is to protect the watershed, mainly because of economic, the connection between a good environment and a healthy economy. And there's a number of things. We stand in favor of this bill. We're here to support the bill. There's a number of statements that have been made by testimony in front of me that I won't reiterate in the interest of time. But as listening to some of the points that are brought up, I thought I'd maybe add a little bit. We did send written testimony earlier. I do have copies for the committee here for the record. Thank you very much. And so I'd like to touch on a couple of points that I've heard about this bill. One of the things that we're seeing, and we've been in the thick of this fight since the Wild Meadows project was proposed in late October, is there's a real sense that there's a lack of objective data to help make decisions about economic impacts of real estate and such like that. I realize there's opportunities to bring that through the SEC process, but the intervenor process is it requires money, it requires expert testimony, it requires legal counsel, it requires resources from intervenors, and so there's been a concern that there's a lack of that data and big questions affecting us locally. The other thing I've seen is that this has become a divisive issue. There's communities that have wind farms, Groton and Alexandria proposed, and they take close votes on some of these warrant articles. They're very close, and there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of concern about what is happening very, very quickly. Again, you heard in the Newfound area, there's 3 projects proposed. The idea of a moratorium, I've heard the concerns about that, but I think of business uncertainty as well. And with a defined length moratorium, which is fairly short, in this case for this bill, it almost seems like it brings more certainty versus the uncertainty of having to go through contentious or potentially contentious SEC hearings. And that having a little bit of a timeout to maybe bring some of the opposing players to the table to talk more thoroughly,
2 minutes.
I think would be a benefit to the state. I think that's really the things that I wanted to touch on that seem different from what we heard before, and I hope that was helpful. And
Thank you very much, Senator. Clark, did you have a question?